Good evening and thank you for joining us. An emergency measures expert is criticizing how Premier Brian Gallant's office and other elected officials responded during last winter's ice storm. Last week, a report on lessons learned from the storm was made public by the Executive Council Office, but in an independent consultant's report prepared for the Emergency Measures Organization, Premier Brian Gallant's presence in the Acadian Peninsula is singled out for creating a distraction to emergency staff on the ground. Gabrielle Fahmy has been looking into this story and joins me with more from Moncton. So, Gabrielle, exactly what is being criticized here?
Well, Harry, this report commends the Premier for being a reassuring presence in the Acadian Peninsula during the ice storm. However, it says it brought some unintended consequences with it. Specifically, it tied up some staff from EMO who were constantly being asked questions to help write the Premier's speeches. During the ice storm, during the peak of the crisis, Gallant gave almost daily press conferences, and that made emergency staff less efficient. Frontline workers also attended the press conferences instead of working on the ground, and the communications director for EMO was busy drafting the speeches for Gallant and answering questions instead of doing his job, which would have been to issue the public information on emergency measures.
And Gabrielle, if I understand this correctly, Premier Gallant isn't the only official being criticized here.
That's right. A number of people approached politicians directly to try to get what they wanted, whether that was getting their power restored first or generators to help them get through. And this also distracted emergency personnel who were constantly responding to these requests. The report talks about an unnamed minister who asked for a generator for a small water distribution plant, but the generator wasn't able to restore the power, and either way the residents were getting water supplied some other way. So really the efforts should have been spent elsewhere.
If politicians want to come and add value, that's one thing. But for politicians to get involved and reallocate existing resources, I don't think that's appropriate. We have a very highly trained and professional emergency measures organization, and it's their job to allocate those resources. In no way should any individual politician or local leader be involved in determining where individual resources go or allocating things like generators. That's inappropriate.
And Harry, the Premier's office feels that public communications is critical, but they do recognize that they have to balance the public's right to know with letting emergency staff do their job.
All right, Gabrielle, thank you for that. Gabrielle Fahmy reporting tonight from Moncton.